Hi, welcome to the first lecture of Python. And here I would like to start with what is Python. And in this lecture, basically we are going to discuss about that only. And we are not focusing. So let me clarify. So if you are gonna watch this video whenever, so I like my teaching methodology or the way I'm learning it, it's completely different. I'm not gonna start with something fancy words like what exactly is programming language or something, and I won't tell you the theoretical terms and all. Basically we are focusing on the basics, very basics, and for that it's very important, like we should start with abstraction. We don't need to go with the depth at a starting, otherwise you will feel overwhelmed and you will stop learning it, right? So the best approach, what I'm gonna tell you, first I'll tell you what is Python, then we'll move further step by step, and I'm not gonna use any jargon words, like it's a high level, low level. I'll tell you what is high level, low level. We are going to, let me tell you the agenda of this video. So first thing is we are going to say like what is Python, and then after that I'll say you what kind of category, like in which category it comes, and then that will be the summary for this video. And next video onwards, like we'll start jumping into the syntax and all. So I hope if you are a complete beginner, it will be easy for you. But if you are already aware of basic things, then you maybe jump to our advanced sections once we'll start teaching them, or once I'll start teaching them. And it's so here I always feel like I'm also learning the Python, and still if I'm appearing in an interview, then I'm saying like I'm not a. It's been long time I haven't brushed up, and I'm not referring any documents. So I'll tell you what, like my teaching methodology or how I am learning. So it's like we are just learning together. So first of all, welcome to the YCB, your coding buddy, and let's begin. So I think my screen is visible to you. So I'm trying some new techniques. So yeah. So here, if you know Python, when it comes to your mind, suppose you are not aware of it, then you are watching the video for the first time. Then what you will think? Maybe you have heard the word azgar, or maybe you will think, okay, it might be an animal, right? We say animal or reptile, right? So you will think like, okay, this is the Python, and you are right. But it depends on what kind of Python you are talking about. And this is also Python. It's just logo of Python, and it's programming language. So we'll discuss what exactly programming languages are and why we need. So first let's clear this thing, like which one we are going to learn. Okay, so if you are learning this Python, let's take this example of animal. Okay, so what you will think? Okay, if you wanted to learn, then you have to be in biology class or botany or zoology. Botany, I believe. My biology and botany are very weak, so I'm so sorry. I mean, just use the term botany, biology. So you have to go there, right, to learn about it. And another thing, if you are going to learn this, then definitely I mean, you will learn about properties and all. And there you don't need computer, you need just notes and good memory. I mean, you have good concentration, right? And that's all. So definitely we are not going to learn this Python. I'm scared of snakes, to be precise. I don't know why I kept this image, but I thought let's try something different, so that's why. Sorry. So let's ignore it. So we are not going to talk about this. Sorry, bro. I have to discard you. Now let's talk about this. So our Python, or the Python that we are going to learn, it's like this Python. So if you see, this is logo of Python. I think, or you can search. So it's what exactly it is, and it's new for you, right? So let's talk. You know the term programming language. If you are not, let's divide. Let's split it into two parts. I don't know why I'm writing like this. Oh man, so sorry. I have to use straight. I mean, yeah. Now I need to think like, okay, so this we got this. We have programming language. I need to cover it within the 10 minutes. Programming language. So okay, so this is, so if you know, like when you wanted to communicate, for example, right now I'm using English. Okay, let's talk about language. Language, what is language? Language is basically a way, or you can say way to communicate with someone. Okay, for example, you are using English, might be I'm using Hindi, or maybe you are using any other language, mother tongue, your mother tongue. Okay, or your native language, basically native language, right? So these are the language that we use to communicate with others. So programming languages, if we talk about, like, now let's jump to programming language. So this is your computer, right? Not right, I have to draw it. It's your computer. Now, what is computer exactly? It's basically, if you'll see, basically there you will see, okay, there is CPU, and there you will might see monitor and mouse keyboards, and these are things, and you are using them, right? Or maybe you are using combination laptop, you can say. So there are hardwares, right? And we'll forget about what things we are going to do and what exactly the use of Python is. First think like, okay, this is a box, okay, and you can think of like it is a kid, and you have to teach it like, okay, uh, can you give me glass of water? You will teach your kids, right? Or your kids, your siblings, or whomever you are going to teach. So this computer is like that. You have to tell it what needs to be done, and for that you need some sort of mechanism or some sort of way to communicate with it. So computer, and now you want to computer. Earlier you used to communicate with people, for and the same way you are now trying to communicate with the computer, and for that you need language, right? You need a language, how you will communicate with computer. So computer only know, I don't know what, that's why just assume for the time being, I won't tell you like, okay, there are binary words and all, because it will be confusing and you will stop here. And I want like you to progress first, and first goal is we have to build a motivation to learn something, and for that it's you have to start with a smooth process so that you will start continuing it. And that's why I am trying to make it black box. Just think like, okay, you have a language and you wanted to interact with computer, or you wanted to give it some task, and for that you will use language, and based on language you will communicate. You will communicate with it, and it will communicate with you. So this is just language, and the language that we are using to communicate with computers, we call them programming languages. And I'm so sorry if you are hearing some background noise, because due to some constructions going on at the rooftop, you might hear some noise. But yeah, so this is programming language, or simply in the simple term, we'll deep dive into it once you will be comfortable with basics, okay? And my English, I'll be like, I'm working on it. So okay, so that's why. So what I'm telling you, it's just language that you are using to communicate with computers. And now we'll divide it into two parts. Okay, so I just wanted to give you a little overview. So these programming languages are divided into two parts. There are other things, but for the time being, I'll say like, okay, let me clear. Programming languages has been divided into two parts. We call it like HLL and LLL. High level languages, high level. I don't know why time is flowing so fast. High level language, low level language. Okay, so assume it like this. High level languages are languages that are, you can think of like your mother tongue. For example, for me it will be Hindi. Okay, and so no, not my bad. So it's your Hindi that is closer to your heart, or maybe you are able to talk in this language very fluently or something. And this is like English. It is not your native language, but you can learn. So similar way, I'll draw a computer like this. Computer, and computer and this language HLL, you will say. Okay, so now you are talking, or your computer is talking with high level language. Oh god, I again written low level language. Okay, so if it's low level, that means computer can easily understand and it's very closer to it, and it doesn't require to translate it. It's like your Hindi. When you are talking in like in Hindi with your parents let's take as a computer, okay, and you don't need to translate them or you don't need to do it the same way. Languages that are very closer to hardware, you can say that where computer can understand easily, they don't need any middleman to translate, so that are low level language. It could be assembly language and binary language. So you can say assembly, binary. So binary basically ultimately what it's going to do, it's going to convert and it's going to convert everything into binary. I know, but again I do not want to expose unnecessary stuff at the starting. So that's why you can say low level languages are basically the languages that are very close to computer, and you can think of like the native language, the mother tongue that you are using to communicate with people. It's very easy, right? You don't need to process, you everyone can talk in it, or it might be your any local language that you are using. And high level languages, again draw computer, and it's like high level language, HLL. Okay, so now someone needs to translate it and then uh, forward back to computer. So that's where high level languages come. Okay, so I think that's this overview is enough to just get to know what. So now if we talk about Python, it's kind of language that comes under high level language because computer cannot understand it directly. It needs some kind of interpreter, or you can think of like a guide that you use when you are traveling to, so that you can communicate with the people who are basically who know different language as compared to what you know. Maybe they don't know English, so you need some kind of Persian, or maybe you are using Google Translator that will be a Persian like an interpreter, a compiler you can say. So here this will be the interpreter. So interpreter you can think of like that person who will convert your code into the code that or into a language that computer can understand, and it can generate the thing. Like suppose you are going somewhere, imagine you are going to a country, let's take example of Japan, and they don't know English. Now you wanted to buy something from a shop. What you will do, you'll ask Google, hey Google, can you ask him uh, that I wanted to buy this product, what is the price of it, how much price I have to pay. So you will say, and translator will do, it will convert that into Japanese, and the person will be able to understand, and it will give you the thing that you wanted, and it will tell you how much price you have to pay for it. So the translator is taking the middleman that is basically converting your language into their language and their language you, and you will get in response the actions that you wanted to perform, right? For example, you ask computer calculate 2 plus 3. Now you will say like, okay, I want to do, you will write a program and it will convert, and you will get. So that's how level languages work. And low level languages, maybe it depends on how closely the language is to it. Maybe for example, for a Persian, maybe, let's take example of Hindi and Bhojpuri. Okay, they are two languages. So it will be easy for someone who knows Hindi and is hearing Bhojpuri words. For them it will be easy, right? So what they will do, simply they have to it's like a their low level language, or you can say they can easily understand it. So that's what. So we have gone through it, and now come back to, let's back to the Python, what we are going to do, what we can do with Python. That's our goal, right? So first thing, you can use it for web applications development, web development. Actually I don't want to cover it. So you can use it for web development, and also you can use it for scientific purpose, maybe data analysis and another. So let me say data analysis. You can use it for machine learning, and if you know, nowadays even I'm just creating the videos because I want to learn master AI, machine learning and AI. So it's a great idea, and we are going to cover it. Like the more I learn, I'll try to teach it so that I can grasp the things better. So I think that's why machine learning, and you can use it for other scientific purpose, data analysis, or maybe you can build pipelines and all. So many things are there. But for the timing, you can say like here you can use Flask, Django. There are framework you can use. And also now you can develop web UI with it. So tk enter, and there are some libraries, so I don't think you just will go through it actually. Yeah, so for the time being, our goal is to focus on the programming language and its uses. Okay, so that's all for the day. Okay, so moving forward, we are going to start in the next chapter, or in the next session we'll start with variable. So I'll tell you in detail like what exactly variable means to you, and then we'll jump into the other functions and assignment operators and all. So for the time being, if you like the video, you can like it, and if you have any feedbacks, then just let me know so that I'll improve it. And if you don't like it, just hit dislike button, and I like it. Thank you so much. Bye bye.